Shadow Binders is back in stock on shopclownfish.com. That's shopclownfish.com. And now on with the show. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And Anime Matsuri has come and gone. Mm-hmm. And Vic Mignogna was there. And he had quite a few people.
Nuh-uh, that's clearly fake.
That is fake. Absolutely fake. Yeah.
They just waited till the time his line was longest and they took a picture then.
Yeah, so, you know, this event's going on and not without drama. Anonymous email sender spreads false rumor that former JAV actress Keo Shibuya planned to host an anime sex party at Anime Matsuri. Oh. Now, these two things might not have anything to do with one another, but I can tell you that every convention that has attempted to book voice actor Vic Mignogna since his cancellation has been met with some challenges.
Yes.
They've been met with some hostility from people on Twitter, so it wouldn't surprise me if somebody was up to shenanigans.
Yeah, trying to cause more bad luck to the place because they wouldn't bend the knee or whatever. So
yeah,
we'll just do that.
I have a hunch. We're gonna talk about this. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 206,000 subs.
Woohoo!
Thank you for the support. You know, I don't think we'd pull a line like this if we did a con.
Who knows? Maybe we would.
I don't think we would. But yeah, so Vic Mignogna did get invited to Anime Matsuri. He did appear. There were other conventions in the last year or two that have tried to invite him, and they were brigaded fiercely. They were
I want to point out again that we were one of the first ones when we were talking about covering this. We said let the courts decide everything else. Where's the evidence? I still haven't seen any evidence.
I haven't either. I've heard a lot of look, if the guy legitimately was scummy and you've got some receipts for that, then that's one thing. But I mean, in the case of Vic Mignogna, all we've heard are stories, and we've yet to see any smoking gun that I've seen. I mean, again, we don't follow it blow by blow, but this is a case of somebody getting canceled. I think that they were canceled because there were other reasons going on, I think.
Right. And then we see people some of the people that were making the biggest stink about it have been themselves busted for supposedly misconduct since then. And then so the other people making the comments about it, the things that they were accusing him of were things that, that we've been as guests at anime conventions. We've been around voice actors. We weren't there with Vic Mignogna, but we were there with some of the other voice actors that have been, in these circles. And the behavior they were describing, we've seen out of a lot of those people. It was kind of like the behavior that was accepted at these events.
Yeah.
And we've said that.
Yeah, it does seem like there's some drama at work. Personal opinion, that there are some people that did not like Vic Mignogna, may have been jealous of Vic Mignogna, that looked for an opportunity to get rid of him, just as the Dragon Ball Broly movie was doing very, very well at the box office, and he happened to be the lead in that movie.
And like I said, some of these guys that came out and like, ew, I have to, how dare he? That's so terrible. They themselves have been accused of the same things since then.
With more receipts, I might add. So anyway, very curious he's invited to this convention, and this rumor is floating around that they were going to host an anime sex party, and the woman in question said, hell no, that's not going on. So, coming from Bounding in the Comics, an Anime Matsuri staff member has adamantly refuted the recent rumor that former Japanese adult video actress Keiho Shibuya first circulated in an email blast sent to Anime Matsuri attendees that she planned to host an after-hours anime sex party as part of the convention's programming.
Well, then my next thing is, how did they get hold of the email list? They would have had to have been involved with the event in some way to have that email list.
It's very possible. Or sometimes, people send us emails and they don't, BCC everybody, and they send it to like everybody, and there's like 400 names on the list. So it was sent to attendees on July 7th from a Gmail account purportedly belonging to an individual named Fuki Yori. Although this is likely a fake identity, given the name itself appears to be a play on the phrase F you.
Yeah.
And claiming to have been authored by Shibuya herself, the email blast in question announced that the former JAV star would be holding an anime sex party 1 a.m. July 13th the crossing stage for guests and artists where I will give out the best AV experiences for you guys in costumes. I'm not going to go into detail as to what she was reportedly offering, but I think this was trolling.
I mean, if you believe that, looking at what they're saying they're offering at an anime convention, if you believe that, first of all, then, you know.
Yeah.
You look at what they're offering, we're not going to read it. But if you fell for that, then, you know.
Right. So, it was to be decided reportedly through a raffle, which is available for everyone. So if you want to put your name in the hat to get after hours attention at the Anime Con. The bizarre message was brought to further widespread attention on social media when Takanashi himself shared a screenshot of the email to his personal Twitter account, stating the entirety of the contents were totally fake. This is hilarious if you get this email. It's totally fake. It's insane the lengths some groups will go to. They clarified that any communication from me about the convention to my guests will come from an Anime Matsuri email address, not Gmail. Obviously, as soon as it comes from Gmail,
right.
we get garbage from Proton Mail. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, in the follow-up thread published by Takanashi after receiving an email inquiry regarding the email from Anime News Network executive editor Lindsay Loveridge, who asked such questions as what regulations are being considered to ensure the safety and health of the SEX workers at the party. So Anime News Network, let's walk this back a little bit. Anime News Network were the ones that posted the images of Vic with girls. Innocently enough, they were his fans.
Yeah, a lot of them, you know, were like mad, asked them to take it down because they misused the pictures out of context.
And yeah, they were the ones who were implying that, oh, Vic is hugging this girl or he's standing next to this girl. Clearly, he's hitting on this girl, and that was not the case. They actually, from where I'm sitting, posted fake evidence. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that one of their editors jumps on this. Like, well, what are you doing to make sure that, you know, they're not going to get diseases?
Why was that their first go-to and not, what the hell are you doing? I thought this kind of stuff was bad and should be punished if anybody hugs somebody wrong. But in this one, they're like, well, what regulations do you have to make sure no one gets STDs?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend. That's a girl, but you know.
Yeah, right. So was Anime News Network in on it? I'm asking for a friend because it wouldn't surprise me. Why would that be their? I mean, anybody would realize that was.
I read it from the top and looking at that, you know.
Looking at the name.
Yes, you could. It was not even just that. That's what they said was going on. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen
at an event like this. Sorry.
Yeah. So they had, she did do a panel about hentai, but that's a lot of anime conventions do after hours panels on hentai. There's no lewd acts going on.
They're not saying they're going to give what they were saying.
Right. We're not going to have a demonstration of some. They watch dirty cartoons and they talk about the dirty cartoons. Nobody's doing that at the panel or should be doing that at the panel. So this is pretty messed up. I mean, it really is. But then we had other people jumping in on this situation that are anti-Vic people. Mars Girl.
Oh, look, shocker.
Yep. They claim it's fake, but if it isn't.
It is fake. I mean, what do you mean if it isn't fake?
Yeah. It implicates the AV Idol, her managers, and they denied it. They said it's obviously fake.
No, my next thing is, wait, they're jumping on this if it's real. My next comment is, again, how did the person get the list, the mailing list, to send them all out? It had to be somebody who had access to that list.
I don't know.
Or, somehow, in some way, they gained access to that list.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to. Yeah, so this is very... interesting. It's interesting that a lot of the usual suspects.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's Anime Matsuri that had controversy about the one guy who was running it. Like, I think he stepped down. He was the ones, him and his wife used to run it. Because I want to say it's that one. Because on some of these artist alley groups, is that they're talking about, how he had been accused of misconduct.
Yeah, there was a whole movement. I mean, again, I haven't really looked into the nuts and bolts of Anime Matsuri, but I do know that there was a movement to boycott it, and people double, triple down when they brought Vic Mignogna in. Now, Vic's been to other conventions as well, and he always brings a big crowd, but, from where I'm sitting, it looks like any convention that attempts to bring him in. Again, they get brigaded so hard. We saw it with a convention in, I believe they were in Canada. I think it was 8-Bit Shinobi in Canada. They were going to bring him up, and people actually complained to PayPal and got the payments.
Or was it Stripe?
Or Stripe, yeah, it was Stripe. And they complained to Stripe to get them to stop taking payments for tickets.
Which they reversed that decision.
I believe they reversed the decision. Yeah.
But I'm looking at this comment. I don't know if this email is real, but I can confirm it was sent to some of the people who get it together. Here's the thing. Somebody got the list. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the convention people's fault. It could have been somebody who worked in the convention who did it. It could be somebody who hacked it. It doesn't necessarily mean get your shit together. You can get an email blast from one of these people who are complaining. Maybe all their mailing list or their events gets leaked with some porn message. Does that mean that it's there? Like if Mars Girl's email list her message list got leaked and someone took it and used it to make some fake ass, here's what she's offering email blast. Would that be her fault? No, you'd say that wasn't her fault, but it's their fault completely when it happens to the organization. My thing is, somebody got the list somehow and then sent this out. That's not the organization's fault.
God, this is insane. Yeah, so Jacob Takanashi had to tell people to stop emailing his wife because they've been harassed. Yeah, this is insane. I mean, I have zero doubt that whatever is going on, whether it's an inside job, sounds kind of dirty given the context or not, is because they brought Vic Mignogna to the convention and because a lot of people are angry about this convention existing.
Mm-hmm. And then they have not him, the issue with the original people that were behind it. And it's just, but then to go be like, oh, but this is true, we're going to ask you questions about it. Obviously, I question your, intelligence if you thought this was true to begin with. Mm-hmm. It's clearly fake.
Why would the usual suspects, Anime News Network and Mars Girl, why would they pounce?
And why would they suddenly put a spotlight on it?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, again, we don't really cover the blow by blow of the Vic Mignogna situation. From where we're sitting, though,
I'm not even talking about just that. I'm talking in general.
Just in general, there is a relatively small cabal of people that want this guy to wind up in a box on the street, and they're going out of their way to cut off
way more than what you would expect for something like
it's disproportionate.
Yes,
and look, I understand it's a small industry and all that, but there are other people who have done really provable shitty things working in this.
And they're not campaigning like that against them.
No. So it's very curious, the people that are speaking up, and
they let Vic come anyway, and then this email gets sent out, and then here they come like, well, it's really weird that this email got sent out. Well, it's really weird that you're getting so upset about this email. It's clearly fake.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a little weird. So look, there's a lot of drama around. They're not going to let it go. They're not. I mean, it's how many years?
Well, then she goes back and says, what shitty is this likely could have been internal sabotage? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Says the whole list of guests and vendors went out to. It's also shitty as the con had so many problems with 15 years. Yeah, so she's admitting, it is probably internal sabotage, but I'm going to use it now to put.
Yes.
Well, isn't that convenient? I don't know.
Very convenient. She was one of Vic's biggest critics, and so was Anime News Network. Again, I place his cancellation squarely at the feet of Anime News Network posting those photos, because that's when he got fired from Rooster Teeth. That's when he got fired from Funimation.
And that's when we said let the courts decide. Yeah. And one of their editors went around telling people we were
Nazis.
We were, yes, literally telling people we were that, because we said, well, we've been to conventions, we've seen this behavior out of a lot of these people. Let the courts decide. There's evidence. Let the courts look at it and see. And then that, I'm not talking about, the defamation, because it's hard to prove defamation. We're talking about the fact that you'd have to be proved that he did these things, and that the courts, if they have proof, will see it. The courts will decide. And then we got called Nazis for that. How dare you? You're Nazis for asking for, the court system.
Proof before you lynch someone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How dare you? So, very interesting turn of events. And again, this doesn't surprise me at all, because I have seen every convention, and I've done videos on it, every convention that announces Vic Mignogna as a guest, within a couple of days or a week, they walk it back because they get brigaded so hard by a certain group of people, and
certain group of people who that were the ones in those comments.
Yeah, happen to include, I believe, some of the people that are causing problems for Anime Matsuri. So just saying, they're trying to cancel him completely from the con scene. So, I don't know.
If you don't like it, don't go.
Don't go. Don't go. Don't support it. Don't go.
That's what you tell me. If I don't like something, well, if you don't like them being there, don't go. Same to you.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
All right, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.